We're going to be looking at Selwyn Cobbo.
Interesting. I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's a rising star, I guess you could say. Plays for the Brisbane Broncos, and also for Queensland in the State of Origin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is a big deal. For those of you who don't follow rugby league, the State of Origin is it's huge. You could almost think of it as like an annual all-star game.
Got it.
But like with way more intensity.
Yeah, rivalries, the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we really want to do today is kind of trace Cobbo's path. How he went from his beginnings in Sherberg to where he is now. Like, what are the key elements of his story?
Yeah, that's fascinating, especially when you consider the kind of athlete we're talking about. Like, what makes him stand out?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because when you first come across Selwyn Cobbo's story, you immediately get this sense of, I don't know, like talent mixed with opportunity.
Yeah.
And a strong sense of his background.
Yeah.
You see the highlights, the amazing tries, but when you look closer, you realize there's this whole journey of perseverance and a connection to his Indigenous heritage.
Oh, I see. So it's more than just the sport itself.
Exactly. It speaks to that idea of, overcoming challenges and using your background to achieve your potential. It's a pretty universal story, right?
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, like, were there early signs of this? Was there something that hinted at the impact he'd have?
Well, yeah, actually. He was the first Indigenous captain of Murgon State High School.
Wow, that's significant.
Right. And, that's not just a symbolic thing. It also means that this person has respect and leadership qualities.
Yeah.
Both on and off the field.
Makes sense.
So it seems like that early responsibility kind of laid the foundation for who he is now.
It's interesting, isn't it, how those early experiences can shape a person's trajectory? I mean, being the first Indigenous captain, that must have come with a certain weight of expectation.
But it wasn't just a straight shot to the NRL. Our sources point to his time with the Wynnum Manly Seagulls and playing in the Mal Meninga Cup.
I'm not super familiar with those.
Yeah, so these are like development pathways, basically. Yeah. Think of them as high-level feeder systems for the professional clubs.
Oh, interesting.
So how did these stages prepare him? What's the significance there?
Well, if you look at how talent is developed in other sports, these intermediate levels are super important. They're like the bridge between local competitions and the intensity of professional rugby.
Okay.
So the Wynnum Manly Seagulls, the Mal Meninga Cup, those are where raw talent gets refined,
Yeah.
where you face tougher opponents, you learn the tactics, the physical demands. It's like an apprenticeship for the NRL.
And that makes a lot of sense when you consider his debut, right?
Yeah.
Round 13 of the 2021 NRL season.
That's a big moment.
Right, that first taste of the top level. But even before that, she got selected for the Queensland Under-18 Emerging Origin squad.
Oh, wow. So he was already on their radar.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sign, right?
Definitely. Like a seal of approval from the top coaches saying, this kid's got potential.
Exactly. So his Broncos debut was a milestone, but in a way, it was also like a confirmation of what people already saw in him.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what happened next?
Well, 2022 was kind of his breakout year. Incredible performances for the Broncos, and this led to him joining the Queensland State of Origin team.
Wow, that's huge.
Right, all this happening just after his 20th birthday. And he wasn't just there to make up the numbers. He actually had a crucial assist in Game I against New South Wales, helping Queensland win.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure for someone so young. How did he handle it?
Well, that's the thing, right? Some players might crumble under that pressure, but Cobbo thrived. It wasn't just luck, it was skill and composure. And I think moments like that, they can really make a young player's career.
Yeah, for sure. It's a confidence booster, proof that you belong at that level.
And then, of course, there's 2023, 8 tries in his first 10 games, a hat-trick against Manly. He was becoming this unstoppable force.
It's impressive how quickly he made a name for himself.
Right. But, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. He's had some injuries, like many athletes do.
Yeah, the physical toll of the sport.
But he's always bounced back strong.
And that's a testament to his character.
Totally.
Overcoming those setbacks, both physically and mentally, that's what separates the good from the great.
Absolutely. But here's the thing about Selwyn Cobbo. His influence goes way beyond just scoring tries.
Oh, really? How so?
He's become this incredible advocate for Indigenous empowerment. He uses his platform to inspire young Aboriginal kids, and it's having a real impact. Like, in communities like Sherberg, he's a hero.
That's amazing. It's like he's transcending the sport.
Right. And it's so important, that representation.
Absolutely. Seeing someone like Cabo succeed, staying connected to his community and culture, that sends a powerful message.
It shows those kids that anything is possible, that their
Yeah.
dreams are valid. And there's also this really interesting connection to his family history.
Oh, tell me more.
So his great-great-grandfather was Eddie Gilbert.
I don't think I know him.
Yeah, he's a legendary Queensland cricketer, but he faced a lot of racism and prejudice.
Oh, wow. I see.
And it seems like Cabo is kind of carrying on his legacy in a way.
By being successful and representing his community with pride.
Exactly. Gilbert's story is a reminder of the struggles Indigenous athletes have faced.
Yeah.
And Cabo is, in a way, trying to close the gap through his achievements.
Wow. That adds a whole other dimension to his journey.
Right. So where are we now? 2025, he's still with the Broncos.
Okay.
And he's even adapted to new positions, like center. He scored 4 tries in 4 appearances this season and averages 132 running meters per game. Pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. And that versatility, being able to switch positions, that shows real intelligence as a player.
It does. And he wants to stay with the Broncos long term, which is pretty cool.
I know, right? You don't see that loyalty as much these days.
It really shows his commitment to the club, the fans, the community.
For sure. So what about his early influences? Were there any players he looked up to?
Oh, yeah. He's talked about his admiration for Greg Inglis and Latrell Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, I know those names.
Both incredible players, but also, strong voices for their communities.
They were great role models.
Exactly. And for Cabo, seeing their success, their advocacy, it showed him what was possible.
Especially Inglis, right? He was such a force on the field and so vocal on Indigenous issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And beyond those heroes, Cabo had this personal drive to play for the Broncos, to represent his state and his culture.
Makes sense.
He saw it as a way to honor his family, his community. And a lot of this comes back to his upbringing. His parents, Kayleen Blair and Seamus Cobbo, they instilled these values of respect and discipline.
Ah, the foundations.
Right, those core values make such a difference.
They really do. Talent can only get you so far. You need those values to guide you.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to look at the role of his family, especially his father, Seamus.
Oh, how so?
He was really involved in Selwyn's development, those early morning jogs, the focus on fitness.
He sounds like a dedicated dad.
He was. And that kind of support, that direct involvement, it can be so impactful.
Absolutely. It shows the child that their dreams are important, that their parents believe in them.
And it wasn't just the physical side either. Seamus was always reminding Selwyn to never give up, to play up, to compete against tougher competition. That's often a good sign.
For sure. And again, we see that strong family pride in their heritage, especially the connection to Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah, that seems to be a big motivator for Cabo.
Makes sense. It's not just about personal glory. It's about representing something bigger than yourself.
And there's this really beautiful moment when Seamus presented Selwyn with his Broncos jersey before his debut game.
Oh, I bet that was emotional.
It's like this symbol of all their hard work paying off. And it shows that Cabo's success isn't just his own, it's a shared victory.
Yeah, it's about the journey they took together.
Exactly. And ultimately, all that support and encouragement has helped Cabo become the role model he is today. Showing Indigenous youth what's possible.
Yeah, he's a living example that hard work and perseverance pay off.
Right. So as we wrap up, it's clear that Selwyn Cobbo's story is about way more than just rugby. It's about values, heritage, perseverance.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is. He's making an impact on and off the field. And it all started with that early achievement, being the first Indigenous captain at Murgon State High.
Right, we talked about that.
It wasn't just a title. It was a formative experience. It taught him leadership, responsibility.
It's amazing how those early experiences can shape a person's path.
It is. And think about it, right? How did these stories, these individual journeys of perseverance and cultural pride, how do they affect society?
It's a good question.
Right? How do they inspire the next generation? I think Selwyn Cobbo's story gives us a lot to think about.
I agree. It's a powerful example of what's possible.
So thanks for diving deep with us today.